Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are playing Hearts of Iron 4 in the Man the Guns expansion, playing as, you guessed it, the Empire of Japan in war against the United States. So, let's jump right back into the game. We are currently pushing back over here in the northeast of the United States. We're also trying to push up here in sort of southern Texas, well, I guess northern Texas, and trying to, gain the Midwest countries and all of that. Mexico has surrendered, so we are trying to break through over there. I'm very, very worried about the United States developing nukes, so what I've tried to do is set up all of our aircraft such that they don't really get air superiority, but they do have quite a lot of fighters over in most of these territories, really, so let's see what we can do and whether there's anything. And indeed, I think two of you gentlemen might try to capture that area. And you know what, you indeed might already attack over there. Good, so that's alright. We are making some attacks over here, but all in all the front has more or less stabilized. We're trying to capture Pittsburgh as well, which would be a great target. And over here trying to cut into Toronto so that we would stabilize the front over there a little bit. Because the Americans are sending a lot of forces down our way, so yeah, we really have to be careful about that. So Pittsburgh now being defended a little bit more strongly than it used to. We're being even counterattacked in the flank over here, but our cavalry division, so actual cavalry, does hold out pretty nicely for us. So yeah, that's good. But this attack over here seems to not go altogether too well, so let's stop it for a second. Let's bring everyone to the front line though, and I think we might be good over there. Right, so we have got the cavalry on the front line now. Let's try to bring these two up here, and you know what, now with 3 units I'm fairly confident that we can break them here pretty quickly, and maybe before they do get reinforcements. Good. Other than that, we are trying to break through over here in the Toronto region, and honestly it looks fairly fine to me, so I think that's gonna be alright. Over here I think we should advance further, try to capture that airfield again, trying to stop, man, words are hard, the Americans from dropping any nukes on us. Over here we are pushing forward. Well, that's not really forward though. Can I ask 12 of you to really do something more productive? Like go to Tulsa, and to this area, and half of you might go to here, and then half again might go to here, and that altogether is, I think, a little bit more reasonable. Right, yeah, you are immediately attacking over there, that's alright. Let's try to send even further troops, just fanning out a little over here. Yeah, and again you are attacking over there, that's okay. Maybe you could... Okay, some of you are going there, so that's okay. We still have insufficient resources, so we do need to buy more from the Germans, as always. I'm trying to repair the infrastructure in Pennsylvania, so that we might get a little bit better stuff over there. Okay, let's try to send you over there, I think, and then our cavalry will try to break through sort of to Cleveland. This is going to be a tough fight against 5 divisions over there, but we might as well try, at least, and I think we can break through over there. Over here in Toronto things are fine, so that's okay. Let's bring someone to Toronto directly, and you might even go ahead and attack all of their territory up there, basically. No one is resting, so that's okay. You're going there. You please do try to capture this, and otherwise be assigned to this front, but do try to capture that. Okay, and you're coming up there. That's good, I suppose. Right, and you're not producing any weird results. No, you're directly advancing towards Ottawa. Good. So even with Toronto, that might lead to a very nice victory over there. You guys do continue to push, please, to New Orleans and such. Some of our divisions are fine. They are advancing somewhat slowly, but all in all, not too badly. Right. You guys, you need to push much more aggressively. We basically need to unstabilize their front there to the highest degree possible. Right, let's advance down here in the south with our Marines. And over there we are very close to capturing Ottawa. Have captured Toronto, so that's nice. And now we've cut them into over here. So what we then might want to do is, and I hope this does work, I'm sort of afraid it doesn't, and indeed it doesn't, because of the weird army group system. Right, so that now works. Okay, fine. So that means all of these marine divisions are going to come over here, which is not exactly what I want, but I suppose we can live with that. Okay, you capture that. You're capturing this. This is okay. Let's assign 3 division to here and sort of draw an offensive line like that. That's okay. And all of you guys who are assigned over here, I would really like your front to be, well, over here. Right. And your front line is going to be in advance like that. Good. Okay. And again, your job is to advance. Right. Whereas you are going over there, I don't think that's a good idea. Let's try to go over here. Capture most of this peninsula. And you might do a small dash for this radar installation. That's pretty cool. Good. And you guys do go down here. Right, that's okay. Good. Yeah, over here the attack on Cleveland seems to go a little bit too slow. On the other hand, here in the south I think we are doing very fine. How are our motorized divisions doing? Are you fanning out properly? Properly, I mean to say. Sort of. Well, you're doing alright, I think. Even the Manchu division is doing okay. And we do get more military factories, but now I hardly know what to do with these guys. So I suppose we can try to modernize our infantry equipment by quite a bit over time. Good. Oh, we do see some American tank divisions up there. Interestingly enough. You go there. To Mobile. Manchu army is doing fine. Some submarine activity down here, so that's okay. Indeed, we did seem to sink some submarines. American, some convoys, of course. Right, and you are now wildly being repositioned. How close is Canada actually to surrendering? Canada is rather close, 91%. Don't we have a group up here which is supposed to do some pushes against some objectives? Well, that don't seem to be any. So Winnipeg really is the only victory point that they've got left? Well, that would be rather unfortunate. Let's see though. You try to advance over there. You try to capture this airfield at last, rather. Okay, since you are attacking, let's counterattack. Use the fact that you are low on organization and all that, and drive back the Americans over there. And I think indeed we should ask the purple and the green groups to resume their attacks, and that looks pretty good. So on the entire front line, we now see a good attack path over there. You should also be able to attack. Let's ask the first army down here. And what's that? That's the special forces. So you, all of you might launch attacks. And just push on the Americans. So I think the Americans are very close to actually surrendering. Engineering Company 3, that's very nice. I think we will go to engineering here and conduct experimental rocket research. So that ultimately we might get some better planes. Although digging in a little bit better is certainly welcome. Yeah, well, we are taking some casualties over here along the front lines as this heavy fighting continues. But all in all, I think we're doing fairly fine. Good, let's try to resume our attack on Pittsburgh. Sorry, in Cleveland rather. You can actually try to go to Columbus, where they, interestingly enough, have apparently built up some fortifications. Not sure why they did that, but Well, apparently they were right in doing so, ultimately. Okay, so some good attacks down here. On the way to mobile. Yeah, but our infantry, our mechanized push here is starting to grind to a halt. Where are you guys actually going? Let's try to move you up a little bit faster, shall we? I realize we are kept on air experience, but I don't think it does make sense to build up new airplane models at this moment. Ideally, I really would like Canada to surrender. Where are you going? Okay, you're capturing this. One of you should probably capture this. Or are you doing that? No, you're not. Okay. Right. Ottawa has been captured. Let's try to get the radar installation. And you guys can reduce this front line a little. There we go. Go to Detroit. All of you. Except for the cavalry, you're gonna capture the northern bank of the Great Lake territory. Cleveland is gonna fall fairly soon. So that is nice. Also because all of this is good steel territory. So yeah, I would really appreciate if we were to get to Chicago and such. Okay, on the other hand, over here things aren't as rosy as they used to be. Pretty much the Green Army down here. You know, you guys, the 3rd Japanese Army. I think it's a little bit rubbish that you're supposed to be here. Let's ask the 1st Army to do this, and let's get the 3rd Army to accompany this front line up here. Although that will horribly destroy the fast army. But this is all fast army, isn't it? Yeah. So I really think the fast army does need to be a little bit more concentrated. So yeah, the 1st army, you know what? Let's move you up here. But other than that, the fast army, which is this one, should be focused on reaching... It's not you. This is you. Should be concentrated on pushing up on a very slim parameter over there. And that does mean that all of this is 1st Army, isn't it now? Who is this? Manchu 2. And who is this? Allied Manchu. Yeah, these Manchukian armies do have somewhat a little bit a very close color. Okay, but the 1st Manchu army is this. The 2nd Manchu army, and apologies, I know this is not the most exciting to watch, but I do want to make sure that we are pushing aggressively over here. So yeah, I think this is much better. So the fast army is over there. This is the 2nd and 3rd Manchu. Then we have the 1st Manchu army down there. This territory is going to be captured anyway, so you can get up over there. You can come up as well. Okay, you're capturing that area. That's fine then. Let's try to make sure that we are at least advancing into empty territory whenever we can. That's fine. Good. You can actually try to go here. Yeah. Very good. Also some more not Canadian, what's it called? Denmark area stuff overrun. And I think our front lines are gonna converge here very soon. You might indeed try to capture Biloxi, which I've never ever heard of in my life. Right. I'm trying to push through the Appalachians, that's alright. We are starting to see some resistance up here, so let's make sure to consolidate a little bit at least. And that should be okay. You're coming up here, try to push them back. Please. You're capturing this and then you should go there. Alright. So here we go. Attacks on Detroit are not exactly going great for now. All of you should come here and then attack Detroit. Right, there we go. And you're pushing down here, so ultimately I think we'll be alright. And Detroit is going to fall extremely quickly. There we go. Fine. Let's try to bring him down here, connect up these two front lines. There we go. And one more of you. You can get to Chicago. Try to capture this airfield. Let's keep an eye on the air situation. So we do need some cover for the Midwest, I believe. So let's pick at the very least 800 airplanes and send them over to an airfield that is closer to the Midwest, please. There we go. Fine. Fantastic. Good stuff. Right, we have been counterattacked over here and they are pushing us back, so that's quite as lovely as I would have liked it to be. Okay, but you are reinforcing them, aren't you? Yes, you are. So that's great. Again, being pushed back there, but we have very fast division, so we might soon be able to bounce on these guys. Right, there we go. Okay, you're doing this. You're also cavalry division, so you aren't actually the best unit, so I think that's a good use for you. Right, you're advancing into there. Let's continue over there and over here. And you're capturing that, so great, good. Right. Again, we are pushing onto these two units up here. They're pretty good units, but... And here we go. United States have capitulated, so this is the big one. This attack probably has ceased. And what have we got? We've gotten a lot of infantry equipment, some support equipment, and various other things, including some advanced artillery. Not that much, though. They didn't have that much artillery. They only had 1,000 artillery or so. Interesting. Great news. The cowardly American nation could no longer withstand the pressure from the overwhelming presence of Japan. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. America has surrendered. And we are still at war, of course, against the Dominion of Canada and against the United States. But all in all, oh my. They are entirely broken down here. So that's fantastic news, and that does leave us with an enormous amount of military factories and quite a bit of infrastructure that needs repairing. So let's briefly check on the resource map mode. So Minnesota has survived very nicely, so that's great. We should also check on Pennsylvania for the steel that is over there. But other than that, everything seems to be more or less fine. I mean, there is a lot of damage all around, don't get me wrong, but most of that doesn't affect our steel production. Only really Pennsylvania does. So Pennsylvania does score very highly here, and it is being repaired quite nicely, so that's great. Let's look at the trade window, because we can dump the Germans for their steel imports, and in fact we can dump Vichy France as well. Vichy France, don't need your steel. And indeed Italy, we don't need yours either. Nor do we need the steel from Spain. And indeed we do need less from Sweden. Very good. And yeah, as this comes up higher, we will be building up our steel production there as well. Great! Fantastic! So that's a very good result. So that does leave Canada in play. Even though Canada doesn't have altogether too much stuff to be concerned about. Again, now we need more steel, right? Yes. Okay, that's a little bit silly, right? Let's try to capture as much as we can. Okay, so that's not sufficient. So yeah, I guess what we are going to do, we are going to buy from Spain again. Alright, alright. Back to the overview though. Let's try to capture Winnipeg, shall we? So what I'm going to grab is, I'm going to grab the fast army simply because it's, well, fast. We're going to define a front line like that. And we're going to define an offensive line towards Winnipeg. There we go. Fantastic result. All of these guys are using the rail, except you for some reason aren't. So you should be there fairly fast. Port strike results. Interesting. I didn't even know they had a port over here. But it does appear that the northern Bahamas area is still under Allied control. So let's actually grab you two guys and ask you to prepare a naval invasion from here towards here. There we go. Right, everyone else is sort of reshuffling towards various positions. Let's get rid of that. I think that's stupid. And you can hold for a second here. It's only the fast army that we're going to take up here. And maybe, you know what, the special troops. You can form a front line like that. And an offensive line some other way there. Right. And the fast army, come on, where are you? Fast army, here. Your job is gonna be to start as soon as you can. More port strike results. Okay, so they have a lot of troops over here. Yeah, quite some actually. Destroyers, light cruisers. Heavy cruiser from Mexico. Good stuff. You guys should be advancing. And I hope that that will entice Mexico to surrender as well. There we go, yeah, there's no opposition in Winnipeg as our motorized divisions do roll into the town. Here we go. Does that mean that you'll surrender? It does. Very good. Dominion of Canada has capitulated. Did I say Mexico earlier? I don't know. Again, much more infantry equipment and a lot of other stuff. And you see, Canada had more artillery by a measure of probably 4 or so than the Americans had. So yeah, fantastic results. That does mean that in between episodes I will have to do a lot of reshuffling here to make sure everything is okay. Of course, we will also take Labrador and Newfoundland, which apparently is the current American Dominion. Denmark, I think, is also part of the Allies. And then, of course, the next thing, the only remaining character at war against us is the United Kingdom itself. So, what did we actually research? I think anti-air stuff, so should go for the next level of anti-air so that we can get a little bit better stuff there. I've also tried to influence Brazil and Ireland to maybe join us at some point. But yeah, it doesn't look immediately likely that they would do that. So ultimately the question is whether we ourselves might be up for developing a bomb. I mean, we do have a couple of nuclear reactors already, so it might be viable. That being said, I think this is a very good place to put in a cut, and hope you guys enjoyed the series. This is Japan, all of it. This is Japan. This is Japan. So yeah, do let me know whether you want to see us continuing this to attack Germany and the UK. I think it will be a terribly difficult job to do that, simply because the United Kingdom by now will be swarming of troops, and I'm not even sure it's viable to get a landing unless we nuke them first. So, that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.